Everybody, welcome back. Today I came across a video of a girl saying she can only afford 100 pounds for her kids for Christmas, like $125 or something like that, and how she's being shamed for that. So I guess that's what we're doing now. I guess, we're shaming people who are giving their kids presents, or people who are on a budget. I guess that's what we do now. I guess our society, we've gotten so wrapped up in chasing false images on Instagram and social media that we think it's okay to just shame parents for giving their kids what they can. It's ridiculous. It's a lot. You got to laugh at it, especially knowing that it's like almost a majority of the United States population goes into debt for like 6 or 7 months to pay off what they bought at Christmas. And it seems a bit silly because birth rates are so low. So like if you're single, you don't have kids, what are you going into debt for on Christmas? Unless you're a sugar daddy and you're doing sugar daddy things. So if that's your thing, hey, get after it. But if you're like the rest of us and, you kind of have a grasp on reality, then you know that keeping up with the Joneses has been a problem for decades, for generations. I mean, that saying has been around since I was a kid. But I think, especially now with Instagram, with social media, it's more prevalent than ever because it's just been so normalized. You go on TikTok, you go on Instagram, shorts and reels, you see like just people who are in their early 20s, in their teens, in faraway places, you're doing crazy things. And I've been in some of these faraway places and I've done some crazy things, but the cinematography that goes into it just really makes it something that it's not. And really, when you look at these people, you have to think of like they're essentially lottery winners. It's so rare that anyone has that kind of life. And most of them don't have that kind of life. I've met quite a few like travel vloggers in my day. And I mean, you could just go look at videos of, their real life. And most of it's just a lot of like sitting around in cafes, sitting around in, hotels. And every now and then, you go out, you film something, you come back and edit, and that's it. And people who do that, their careers are usually pretty short-lived because to do that, they're usually going into debt. They think that they're going to create this and it's going to make them rich. Fake it till you make it. What a horrible saying that is. I mean, going into debt trying to chase an image is absolutely wild. And especially when, chasing an illusion can cause you to lose the real things that are important in life. I grew up real rough. We didn't have much. And I had to raise myself most of the time. And some Christmases, we didn't have anything. Most Christmases we did, but some we didn't. We had a budget until I was an adult, and even after then, I'm a little bit comfortable now, but still, like the struggle never really goes away, and that mindset definitely never leaves. So I've never suffered from the whole keeping up with the Joneses thing. I've never suffered with chasing. I've tried to get away. I've tried to escape. But I've never tried to pursue someone else's dream. And I don't know why that's so common with us now. And if that's something you experience, maybe you can explain to me in the comments. But I mean, we can be happy with what we have. You can strive for more while at the same time appreciating what you have now in this moment. Because what you have now in this moment, there's a lot of people in this world who would dream to have that. A lot of these luxurious places that you see in these videos, on the other side of a fence, it's people fighting for their lives. It's people who wish they had $100 to give to their kids on Christmas. Because most of the time, people have nothing. If you're in the global north, if you're in the West, like your idea of poverty is luxury to most of the world. And to take what is essentially relative comfort and put yourself into debt, to put yourself into a situation that you don't need to be in just to chase an image is just straight up foolishness. Because if we really do an inventory of the most important things in our life, the fact is none of them are sold at a store. You fall in love, you get married, you have a kid, you see your father and mother, brothers and sisters doing well, your friends, you see them succeed. None of these have a price tag. The things that you can do for others most of the time don't have a price tag on it. So keeping up with the Joneses, I think, is just it's ludicrous, chasing that ideal, chasing that dream. Now listen, strive to better yourself. Yes, invest, be smart, learn about finance. If you're like me, you didn't know anything about finances growing up. And have I lost money along the way? Absolutely. But, I'm definitely a lot better off now than I was. And I will never be in that position again. And my children will never be in that position because they're going to grow up learning the foundations of what it is to be financially successful, or at least stable, you know? Because in the end, we can only do what we can. So to shame somebody for only being able to afford like $100 for Christmas presents. So first off, $100 may not seem like a lot, but if you're smart, if you're creative, that can go a long way. That can go a long way. Because when I look back at the Christmases that I had with my family, especially when everyone was around, when everyone was healthy, is it the gift that I remember? Was it the Sega Genesis? Was it the PlayStation? No, it's not really. I kind of remember those. Yeah, that's awesome. But as you get older, none of that's important. What you learn is that the biggest gift that you have is people. And there can be times in your life where you think that people are, the biggest net negative in your life. And for some people, that's true. And if that's your case, then, get away. But for the most part, as you get older, it really breaks your heart that you let some of these relationships slide. You let a lot of these bridges fall apart. Because eventually, when you start hearing of either people passing away or people going through hard times that you may have been able to help with, there's, for me at least, some amount of guilt there. I'm not responsible for other people, but at the same time, as a friend or as a family member, you want to be there to be able to at least give a helping hand and say something, give some support. But one thing I would never do is shame anybody, especially if they're in a hard time. Because people aren't always in hard times, and if you're taking that opportunity to belittle somebody or to shame them or to make them feel less than, then that really calls into question not just your character, but kind of like, I don't know, your humanity. If you're a parent and you're raising kids in that way, that's how bad people are made, It's bad parenting. And your actions now, they're going to have consequences down the road because, because that's what they're going to see. That's what they're going to pick up on. That's what they're going to think is right. And are those the kind of people we want in this world? I don't think so. So it's the holiday season. Be good to each other, Give if you can, do what you can. You may not be able to get a lot of gifts. I bet you can make I bet you can make a badass dinner, I bet you can be the most positive person. I bet you can bring the Christmas spirit better than anybody if you tried. But I guess that's it, though. You just have to try. Because that's the most important thing, especially if you're a parent, is trying. I remember the moments where my parents didn't try, right? And when I'm a father, I'm going to try my damnedest to try, So, when my kids are older and I'm older dead, that's the thing. But he may not have been the best dad, but he tried every day. He tried. So if you're out there and you're struggling, but you're still doing it, props to you. Don't let anyone beat you down. In the end, their opinions don't matter anyway. Don't chase an ideal. Live within your means. Don't go into debt, because that's just gonna, compound the problems later down. Live within your means, and it's very easy to get up and move to another bracket. It really is. But I feel like most people these days just, their default is to reach. Their default is to have that champagne taste on a beer budget, and to go into debt, drinking that bubbly. But yeah, it's the holiday season. Just support people, give people a call. If you can help people, give gifts, talk to people who are struggling, help them out. Don't let them go into debt with some like crazy interest. If you got a buddy, they need $20, give them $20. That's not going to hurt you if you have it. And if not, good deeds are always awarded down the road. This whole idea of like good people finish last, I really disagree with that. And the fact is, like, when your reputation gets out that you're kind of a, crappy person to be around, people don't really want to do business with you that much. So just be a good person, be good to each other. Don't shame people. Enjoy Christmas. Enjoy the holidays. I'm a Christian, so hey, Merry Christmas. And, enjoy this weather, this frozen north weather. Or if you're in a warm place, I'm jealous of you, and tell me where you're at because, yeah. But hey, thanks for stopping by.